Sportsnet, brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Welcome to Rogers Center. It's a perfect night for baseball. The roof here is open as it's a gorgeous fall-like night. As we wrap up August, the Tampa Bay Rays are in town for a 4-game wraparound series. John Farrell, his presence is felt in that dugout. He has left the game last night in the 8th inning and finally had to concede. Went to the hospital after the game. He was diagnosed. And earlier this afternoon, Alex Anthopoulos gave us the latest on the Blue Jays skipper.
Just give you guys an update on John. Feeling a lot better. He's at home. Just needs to rest a little bit day to day at this point. So, he should be fine. It was pneumonia. We weren't sure exactly what it was. He got examined last night. So, again, might be back tomorrow just to see how he feels, but he's feeling a lot better.
We certainly want to send John Farrell our best wishes. Don Wakamatsu will manage the ball club tonight. Of course, he's got managing experience. He managed the Seattle Mariners. So he's going over the ground rules with the hitting coach of Tampa Bay, Derek Shelton. Home plate umpire is Bill Welke. He is serving as the interpreter of the ground rules here tonight. Louis Rivera will also be in the dugout. He is a coaching assistant, but because the Major League rules limit the number of coaches you can have in uniform, he is taking over as the bench coach tonight.
And he was a manager last year in Double-A, so he's got that type of experience. Louis doesn't get to wear the uniform during the game. He gets dressed and watches the game with the eye in the sky, if you will, during the game. But tonight he gets to wear the uniform and be on the bench.
This is the 12th game these two clubs have played this year. First time Tampa Bay has been at Rogers Center since May 19th. Take a look at the lineup. Joe Madden's lineup, 70 and 59. The lineups are brought to you by TD Canada Trust. Banking can be this comfortable. Desmond Jennings at the top of the order. This is 24th start that's being recalled from the minor leagues. Johnny Damon, the veteran, closing in on a bunch of milestones for his career. Evan Longoria, after a very slow start, has really picked it up in the production aspect of his game. Ben Zobrist, Casey Kotchman, B.J. Upton, powerful Matt Joyce in right field. John Jaso is back off the disabled list, and Reed Brignac will play short, and they'll face Henderson Alvarez for the first time.
And he takes the mound for his first career start against the Rays, coming off the best of his first 3 Major League starts. Last time out versus Oakland, won a career-high 6 innings, gave up 1 earned run. He still ended up with his first loss as Gio Gonzalez was just a little bit better than Henderson. Threw a lot of strikes, made the A's put the ball in play, threw a career-high 107 pitches in that ball game. Scatter report for Henderson Alvarez is brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners challenge the hitters. He'll use his fastball. It's basically, here it is, hit it, let's see if you can. The slider will get there. He is a work in progress if it comes to that. Fastball changeup basically, and he's got the slider that he is working on, and I think he needs to pitch inside, and that's something he did against Oakland just a little bit better. Pitch inside, challenge him, and use that good moving fastball.
Defense behind Alvarez is ever important because he doesn't strike out a lot, as Pat mentioned. In the outfield, it's Thames, McCoy, and Bautista left to right. Mike McCoy making his 4th start in center field. Lori Escobar on the left side, Johnson Lind on the right side, and Jose Molina will handle Henderson Alvarez for the 2nd consecutive start. First pitch of the game is outside. Desmond Jennings playing in left field. Bouncing ball. Easy play for Lori. 1 quick out.
That's a great point about the defense. They've got to be on their toes because Alvarez throws a lot of strikes. And that's something that's important for young pitchers. Throw a lot of strikes and use your defense. He's got a dramatic fastball where it really sinks as it comes towards home plate, and you're going to get a lot of ground ball outs.
Everybody has seen him now. They know he's going to pound the strike zone, so he'll keep the defense on their toes. Johnny Damon, the veteran, takes the first pitch strike. Damon signed as a free agent with this Devil Ray team on the in the offseason in February, just before the start of spring training. Boy, he's been a nice pickup for them.
He certainly has. Remember that when Johnny Damon and Manny Ramirez signed with Tampa? Set the world on fire, the baseball world. And originally it was Manny was going to play left or DH, and he was going to switch around with Johnny Damon. But with Manny Ramirez retiring, I think that was a stroke of luck for Johnny Damon. Now he is settled in as the designated hitter. He has saved his legs, and he's putting together a pretty good season.
Johnny Damon had his 8-game hit streak snapped yesterday. Bouncing ball to Escobar. Boy, he's got a strong arm. Man, oh man, he barely got a grip on that baseball. And he knows Johnny Damon still runs well, but he reached back for a little extra.
Yeah, it looked like a changeup just by the way he was holding it. He had to come in around the baseball and try and get in front of it, catch it on the run, and then throw it on the run because Damon gets that running start out of the box. I was talking to Yunel today. I said, have you always had that good arm? He said, yep. I said, how did you get a good arm? He said, I used to stand at home plate when I was a little kid and try to throw the ball over the center field wall.
That'll do it. Evan Longoria takes a pitch inside. We mentioned Longoria has really picked it up. He started the season on the DL with an oblique strain. Late on that fastball. Longoria still hasn't hit much for the average, but boy, the power numbers have come around. He's always been tough on the Blue Jays. He's a run producer, batting third in the Rays lineup. Pops this one up. Should be playable. Lynn coming down from first in foul ground. What a quick inning for Henderson Alvarez. It took him just 9 pitches to retire the Rays in order. Been challenged with the bats of late. They haven't done much as far as offense. Top of the order, Escobar, Thames, Bautista. Jose Bautista is one of the real bright spots of late. His stroke is back, hitting .317. Adam Linden's had a miserable month of August. Edwin Encarnacion, Brett Glory, Kelly Johnson making his second start since joining the ball club. Jose Molina and Mike McCoy round out the lineup, and they'll face the veteran James Shields,
who is the major league leader with 9 complete games. He beat the Jays with one of those complete games. That was back on April the 24th, a nifty 4-hitter, and winning that game 2-0. He also beat the Jays 3 weeks ago, limiting them to just 1 run in 7 1/3 innings. Shields gave up a season-high tying 12 hits his last start.
Escobar bends back from an inside fastball. We are seeing a couple of teams that have really been challenged to score runs of late.
Yeah, the offensives have been struggling for both of these teams.
Another bouncing ball. Brignac at short on the run. Escobar's retired.
And if James Shields is on, you'll see a lot of that too here tonight. The scouting report for James Shields, he's got an improved delivery. Before it was side to side, now it's straight towards home, and I think that has really helped him with his control. He needs to command the fastball. He doesn't throw it by you, but he uses it to set up all of his other pitches. And beware the changeup. It's one of the game's best changeup. Reminds me a lot of Sean Markham's, who I have a lot of respect for. His changeup is outstanding. So is James Shields.
Eric Thames, he's faced Shields in the past. Just 2 at-bats. He's 0 for 2. Thames hitting .263. 27 extra base hits for Eric Thames. There's a single in his first at-bat.
Eric Thames has his first hit of the ball game. Let's take a look at the defense. This is the best fielding team in the American League, the Tampa Bay Rays, the fewest errors with just 57. Jennings, Upton, and Joyce in the outfield. Longoria, Brignac, Ben Zobrist, and Casey Jansen will form the infield. John Jaso back behind the plate, and it's a welcome addition for the Tampa Bay Rays. They welcome back B.J. Upton. Has not started for 3 games with a right shoulder strain, so he'll man center field, and he's a good one.
Upton with 5 assists in center field, and he's got a lot of range. Jose Bautista with a man at first. Bautista has a couple of home runs against James Shields. You can see Joe Madden, he's always exaggerating his defensive shifts. And once again, you can see they play Bautista to pull dramatically.
And it's almost like they're asking him to hit the ball the other way. If he just rolls the ball to the right side, Blue Jays can play first and third.
Strike right at the bottom of the zone.
Who is this guy hitting? I don't recognize him.
He looks like a new guy. Clean shaven Jose Bautista.
When you see this type of defense from a right-handed pitcher, it's either we're going to pound you inside or we're going to throw you a lot of soft stuff to try and get you to hit into that shift. Bautista has a decision to make. Do I try and hit one through it, over it, or go the other way?
I think he stays with his strengths. Just matches up against the shift. You can see he is pretty predominant with his ability to pull the ball, but this year a little bit different in that he's got 20 hits to right.
Earlier this year, he beat this shift a couple of times against Tampa Bay, where he inside out at a few balls and just hit ground balls to the second baseman. That ended up being base hits into right field. So he can do it if he wants to.
Just depends on where he is in the count and where the pitch is on the plate. He's worn out the Rays this season, batting .391. Another pitch right at the bottom of the zone. Bill Welke has called 2 low fastballs for strikes. Bautista didn't agree with either one of them.
That's where James Shields lives, down. And again, he'll use that fastball. He's got great command with it. Doesn't throw it by you, but he uses it to set up his other pitches. Anytime you see one of his fastballs up around the letters, that's by design.
2-2, 1 out. There's that changeup. He'll throw it any time. He threw it once. 2-2. He's liable to come right back with it.
Yeah, doubles up on it. Sometimes he'll triple up on it, meaning he'll throw it 3 straight times if he's got a good feel for it, or if he's got a feel that the batter is looking for something else.
Thames at first. Had a 1-out single. Not running. Strike 3 call. Bautista and Bill Wilkie certainly aren't eye to eye on the strike zone tonight.
OJ just letting them know that he thought that that one was either down or outside. From this vantage point, it looked like a good pitch. It looked like it caught the plate. This will really tell. Right on that outside corner.
Caught plenty of the plate, but if anything, it wasn't low by any means. You can see it's above his front knee. But Jaso really made it look worse than it was. He pushed it out of his zone. 2 outs now. Adam Lind, and Lind is anxious to get something going. We've mentioned he's had a tough month of August, but he is absolutely worn out, James Shields. His average down to 257. But remarkably, look at the power numbers. 22 home runs and 73 RBI. Now, Lynn missed 4 weeks with a back problem back in May. And then August is almost non-existent as far as offense, but he's still able to put up 22 homers and 73 RBI.
And if he gets hot again, he's got a great chance to drive in 100 runs.
Has a good look at that pitch. Boy, there's nothing like seeing a pitcher that you've hit well in the past when you're struggling. Like your cousin has come back to town and said, okay, everything's going to be okay now.
There is something about certain pitchers. One guy will stand in the box and see him big time. The ball looks huge. Another time, the same batter can go in there and have no chance.
Good rip at that ball. He fouled it back. Mention Adam Lynn. On July 16th, he was hitting .304. All the numbers very representative of that good year, and then, boy, things have really fallen off the table since. Home runs, just 6 home runs and 21 RBI since the 16th of July.
Swinging at some bad pitches, a little bit anxious. There was a time where he's sitting on 99 home runs for a while and looked like he was trying to pull the ball, trying to get the ball in the air, and I think the pitchers really took advantage of that.
Breaking ball catches the outside corner. Shields will never allow you to pick up a pattern. He does a great job, and he's a little different than most major league pitchers. He developed the changeup in the minor leagues. He'd throw 35 to 50 changeups in a minor league start. That's basically his go-to pitch throughout the minors. Breaking ball hammered to left. Desmond Jennings gets there. Lynn hit it hard, but right at the left fielder. Blue Jays get a base hit, but James Shields leaves one stranded.
On Rogers Sportsnet, brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
It's a perfect Friday night here at Rogers Center. Baseball temperature is perfect. A little bit of a breeze blowing, but you really don't feel the effects. Ben Zobrist steps in to face Henderson Alvarez for the first time. And get used to that. If you're watching Alvarez pitch for the first time, he's a strike thrower. Pitches with a lot of confidence.
You can just see it when he is out on that mound. Not afraid to throw strikes, challenge hitters. 21 years old.
Double-A New Hampshire, he went 8-6 and really finished up strong. Another ground ball. Kelly Johnson to his right, backhands. Zobrist is retired. 3 ground ball outs already in 4 batters.
Nice play right there by Johnson. Made it look easy. You'll get a lot of ground ball outs again with Henderson Alvarez on the mound. And by no means is he a finished product. He is a work in progress right now. Again, he started the year in A-ball. And he has made 3 jumps to the big leagues. And this is going to do wonders, I think, for his confidence the last few weeks of the season facing these big league hitters. And if he can get them out.
Casey Kochman, batting .326, was fooled on that breaking ball. That was a pretty good slider.
Yeah.
That's the 3rd pitch in the arsenal of young Henderson Alvarez, and that's the best one we've seen him throw. Changeup, 87 with the changeup, and I tell you what, he's polished. And he had the thrill of a lifetime last time the Blue Jays were in Seattle. He got to meet his idol, Felix Hernandez, the Cy Young Award winner from a year ago. They both are from the same town in Venezuela, Valencia, Venezuela. He had not met Hernandez until the last trip to Seattle. Slider, strike 3. What an at-bat for Henderson Alvarez. Slider to get ahead, fastball fouled off, slider to finish him off.
And that's one of the things that Felix Hernandez talked to him about with that slider is you've got to throw it out in front. That's a pretty good one. A much improved slider since the last time I saw him pitch.
Dramatically improved, and it had late break and a tight spin and gets a left-handed hitter. B.J. Upton, a right-hander, will step in with 2 outs. First pitch strike. Upton had missed the previous 3 games, as Pat mentioned. He banged up his shoulder, chasing down a fly ball. Good news for Tampa Bay to get Upton back in the lineup. He's not had a particularly good season with the bat, but he's a big part of the defense for Joe Madden, the anchor in center field.
Batting average just at .224, and you get those types of swings from him. Shows you the kind of sinker that he has. But Upton can run. You make a mistake, he can knock it out of the ballpark. He's got 17 home runs.
For his last 14. 1-2, 2 outs. Upton wasn't quite ready. Asked for time, and it was granted. Second inning. Jose Molina didn't know anything about Henderson Alvarez till this spring. Pat Henkin said, Jose, I want you to catch Alvarez. See what you think. He knocked his glove off on the first pitch. Throwing that sinker, he said, oh, I remember Henderson Alvarez. He's got that kind of movement on his fastball. Got it. Elevated a 94-mile-an-hour heater and strikes out B.J. Upton. Henderson Alvarez off to a good start tonight. He's retired 6 straight, last 2 by Sharp makes bigger better. Blue Jays certainly have some home run hitters coming to the plate in this inning. Edwin Encarnacion, Brett Lawrie, and Kelly Johnson. James Shields gave up a one-out single and then stranded Eric Thames on base. Another fastball gets away from Shields. Don Wakamatsu, just a reminder, he is the acting manager tonight. The skipper, John Farrell, is home resting. He's been saddled with a bout of pneumonia. We want to wish John well and a speedy recovery. 2-0. Popped up and out of play.
That's where it becomes so tough to read James Shields. 2-0, you think you got him set up for a pitch. He might throw something totally different. He's got 4 pitches. He could throw them at any time in the count. 9 complete games.
There's that great changeup. Late life on that changeup as it just disappears under the bat. Shields does not get the respect he deserves for his consistency. He's in an elite class of pitchers that consistently throws 200 innings. He's one of just 5 starters over the last 4 years that racked up 200+ innings plus 150 strikeouts. Right back with a changeup. Encarnacion strikes out. That's 2 tonight for Shields.
His delivery is very simple, very compact. He doesn't come out of his delivery trying to overthrow pitches. The only changes that they made was try to get him coming towards home plate. And when you do that, you get a lot of strikes and a lot of strikeouts. That's another changeup that Encarnacion swings at. And you're right, you can count on him. This will probably be his 5th straight year of 30+ starts.
Brett Lawrie, as he always does, takes the first pitch to get an idea what he's dealing with. First time he's faced James Shields, 13 games. He's hit .341. Brett Lawrie a single and a triple in last night's game. 2 for 4. He scored a run and drove 1 in. Slider off the plate. We mentioned the 5 pitchers with 4 consecutive seasons of 200+ innings and 150 strikeouts. Verlander, Sabathia, Heron, and Matt Cain, along with James Shields. Pretty good company.
And you're right, under the radar. When you start talking about pitchers in the American League, you name all of those guys, and John Lester, Josh Beckett, David Price.
Left field, high and deep. Jennings at the wall. This one is gone. Home run, Brett Lawrie. Number 5 for the rookie.
What's impressive about Brett Lawrie is he's got a very short swing and the ball just explodes off of his bat. Shields wants the ball down and away. He gets it down and in, right into the spot where Lawrie likes it. The bat comes through, just thunders through, and gets it over the wall for number 5. Classic home run swing right there.
Kelly Johnson in his 2nd game with the Blue Jays. Luis Rivera enjoying his time in a dugout. Johnson goes to left field. Jennings got a good break on it. Makes a running catch on the warning track. That's Kelly Johnson's approach. Boy, he can hit the ball out of the ballpark to all parts of the field.
26 home runs last year, 18 more this year. And I think he's really going to love hitting in this ballpark. Ball really carries to all fields. That time just didn't get enough of it. It looked like an off-speed pitch. He just didn't get enough behind it.
James Shields has always given up homers. That's 22 now on the season that the Rays right-hander has allowed. Jose Molina jumps on the first pitch, but Jennings has plenty of room. Molina's retired on one pitch. The Blue Jays are out of the second, but Brett Lower has put him out in front. His 5th home run on a 3-2. The conversation. You see right there, Hernandez is talking about Alvarez and his breaking ball.
Had a baseball out there, and he was telling him that you were throwing your breaking ball from behind your head. You've got to get out there and you have to extend. Certainly was listening to him, because we've seen him throw a couple of breaking balls here tonight were the best that we have seen in 4 starts.
And there's nothing like getting advice from a peer, especially one that you idolize. We mentioned they both come from the same hometown in Venezuela. Felix Hernandez is only 25.
Yeah.
A young guy, but certainly a young star.
And he talked to him. He asked him about his routine in between his starts. What does he do to get ready for his games? There's so many things that young pitchers have to learn about the life of a big league catcher or big league pitcher. Thought of a catcher there as
I know you were
smoked.
You were sympathizing with Jose right there, but he got hit pretty well with that foul tip. But Henderson Alvarez, and you saw Luis Rivera, the third man in that conversation. It wasn't a matter of translating; they both speak Spanish, obviously. But Henderson Alvarez was in such awe that he was reluctant to ask any questions. So Luis Rivera kept asking questions. Pat Henkin, the bullpen coach, told Henderson, take a baseball with you and have him show you how to throw to the slider. And that is a dramatically different breaking ball. And Pat Henkin was thrilled that Hernandez would take the time to meet with the young guy, but it certainly had an impact. Matt Joyce, full count.
Certainly can go a long, long way to have somebody like that talk to you when you're a young kid. I mean, it'd be like you and I talking to the guys that we idolized growing up and learning from it. Them taking the time to talk to us.
Comes right back with a changeup, and Joyce gets a piece of it. Well, I'm just like Henderson Alvarez in that situation. If I would have had an opportunity to meet Willie Mays, I wouldn't have been able to talk either. I'd have just stood there and looked at him.
Would you have remembered to bring a baseball out? Maybe
I don't know. No, you're going to meet Willie Mays. I'm going,
huh?
What?
I still can't talk to Johnny Bench. I look at him at, you know.
Oh, it's and I can understand how Alvarez felt. He was dressed in his uniform at 12 noon, waiting for batting practice to start. That bat is shattered. Alvarez had to wait to let the barrel of that bat go past him. He knew it was coming out toward him as that bat shattered at home plate. So he had to wait and allow the barrel to pass him.
And that's getting all in his kitchen. Talked about his fastball. He's got good movement on it. There it is. He's got a duck as he makes his way over to first base to get that throw from Lynn.
Well, making sure that Alvarez has a chance to regroup. I tell you what, this is his 4th game, and he acts like he's been pitching forever.
Chuck and duck as he gets out of the way of that flying object.
John Jaso, the catcher, will step in the box with 1 down. Goes after the first pitch. I think the Rays have already picked up on the fact that Alvarez is coming after him.
Throws a lot of fastballs, and that's okay. That's where he will have to lean on Jose Molina to pick up that pattern and maybe start him off with something else. Second time through.
We have already seen more sliders in this game than we've seen in any of his previous starts. And that's what you want to see, continued improvement from young players, and where you've seen it in Alvarez. We mentioned in the open that Alvarez continues to get better with every start. We're much more comfortable in his surroundings. He finished up in AA on a real hot streak. He won his last 4 decisions. Over the course of 5 starts, he went 4-0 with a 2.08 ERA. And as the Blue Jays management has done throughout this season, they have waited for the right moment to promote to the major leagues, and they wait till a guy gets hot. And when they brought him up, he was on fire.
You just feel comfortable. You just feel better about yourself when you move up to that next plateau in your baseball career. He also might be one of those players, the higher up you go, the better you are. We have seen that for years and years. Sometimes guys climb the ladder, they go from A-ball, AA, AAA, and they can't handle it. There's also guys who can go up and they just become better baseball players.
That hit him on the back elbow. That slider broke inside. And oh, now look at Bill Welke's calling him back. He's saying that that ball hit the bat. He's going to call him back, and he's going to show him that red mark. Well, it's not red enough for me. No, I'm sorry, it hit the bat. And he's going to look at it. I'll show you the bruise. And Welke said, nope, it's not red enough. But it looked like it hit his elbow.
Yeah, it certainly did. We had this earlier about a swing and hitting a batter. He starts to swing at it, and then checks his swing and clips him right on the elbow.
And you can see where the bat is and where the ball is. It hit him on the elbow.
Yeah, no question that it hit the elbow, and it was not a swing.
Now they're waiting to see if it's going to swell up. And it did.
It's the right call.
Don Wakamatsu is going to come out of the dugout. And then Wakamatsu is going to argue, hey, you made the call. You were clear in your mind what the situation was. You called a foul ball. And now you're going to say just because he shows you a red mark, you're going to give him his base?
Umpires will go by the sound in that situation. It must have sounded like it. I think they have to wait and see if it hit the bat. If they call it foul ball, then he must have seen it hit the bat, right? I mean, that's the first thing I would think.
But check swings are tough. But Jaso showed him his elbow, and we could see. Well, so we have the benefit of sound and tape.
You see the home plate umpire raise his hands right away, saying foul ball. This is the one that's going to show you that is pretty certain that he hit him on the elbow right there.
It's about a foot away from the bat. But it's difficult for an umpire on that check swing. You're concentrating on the bat. You hear the sound. It sounded like wood. It hit the elbow.
Well, there's one way to fix that, and they can do it very quickly.
Come on. You don't want to do that. A little instant replay action.
All they have to do is look up to us, and we would have told them, right?
We're honest guys. We'd have given thumbs up or thumbs down.
Foul ball.
Just like the old Roman days. Reed Brignac, the shortstop, has not had a good season with the bat, hitting 191. Tampa Bay will play hit and run, even with the catcher. Big swing and a miss.
This is one of the best teams at manufacturing runs in all of baseball. They can hit and run. They'll squeeze. They'll steal bases. The name of the game is to score runs.
Yeah. And last year they did a pretty good job of scoring runs. They scored over 800 runs. And their offense wasn't particularly that potent. They just manufactured runs. Unfortunately, against the Tigers in that 4-game series, they lost the recipe. They scored 6 runs in 4 games. And they lost 3 of the 4 games to the Tigers. Brignac in a hole. Sinker just missed the outside corner.
He's trying to get Brignac to swing at that so he can get it on the ground and get out of here. 94 miles an hour with late movement. Action on his pitches, but it just tails off the plate.
2-2, 1 down. Jaso at first. Changeup. And a good one. For Alvarez. He keeps making you shake your head. This is just his 4th start, and he's pitching like a veteran.
Not afraid to throw that off-speed pitch anytime. He did that against Joyce. He threw him a couple of changeups that were fouled off and then sawed him off. Now with 2 strikes, gets Reed Brignac swinging over the top of that change.
Back to the top of the order. Desmond Jennings, the left fielder, grounded to third, his first time up. Molina calling Laurie in at third. Jennings has great speed. Wanted to make sure he doesn't play too deep. He's just a step behind the bag at third.
Jennings just looked down there at third base, and now here comes Laurie. Comes creeping in on the pitch. Jennings had a bunt hit down in Tampa when we were there at the beginning of this month.
See Laurie well off the line at third base. Baseball hitters would call that pitch dirty. That is a dirty sinker right there. You don't have much of a chance to hit it. And it's not about being on the corners or anything else. It's about knee high and then just disappears. 0-2. Desmond Jennings pretty impressive in his own right. He was drafted in the 10th round because he was such a talented football player. Most teams expected him to continue his college football career. Tampa Bay took a flyer, and they've got a pretty good young player. Desmond Jennings was the 10th round pick to Tampa Bay in 2006. A terrific wide receiver.
Took him a while to get his baseball skills down, and when Carl Crawford left this year, everybody assumed that he was going to make the team out of spring training and be their everyday left fielder, but he had to go back down to the minor leagues and get some seasoning.
Little tapper on a breaking ball. To give you an idea how good Jennings was in high school, he was Alabama's Mr. Football runner-up as a receiver. Second best high school player in Alabama. Then he went to a junior college, played junior college football in Mississippi, and had a terrific season. Led the nation with 54 receptions.
He looks like a wide receiver.
He looks like anything he wants to be. He's a good-looking player. We saw him last year when he made his big league debut right here in Rogers Center. Got his first hit here.
Had to go down to the minor leagues, polish off his game just a little bit more. His fielding, his hitting of the breaking ball.
Hits that breaking ball high and deep to left field. This ball is gone. Off the second deck, Desmond Jennings, his 6th home run on a hanging breaking ball. Tampa Bay has taken the lead.
Jennings showing some power and some speed, throwing 13 stolen bases that he's had. This is a hanging breaking ball. Here's the problem I have with that. He got beat by his 3rd best pitch. He was tying him up with his fastball. Jennings didn't have a chance on his fastball, and he's got a good changeup tonight. He gave up the home run on his 3rd best pitch.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And just because he had thrown a few better ones early in the game doesn't mean all of a sudden that's going to become his bread and butter pitch. Still his 3rd pitch by a wide margin.
Yeah, it's not a strikeout pitch yet.
Johnny Damon. Ball in the strike. There's a changeup. Well, you're right about that, and that's a great point, and something that Molina will doubt himself for calling now. And obviously Alvarez not going to shake to it, but he had thrown some good ones early on, but it's certainly not a pitch you want to throw in that situation. Not when you can do that.
Right. When you 95, 96 with movement. Plus Jennings wasn't showing any chance of getting the head out.
Desmond Jennings has some special talent. Jennings now hitting .345 with 6 homers. Another changeup, and Damon is down. 2 strikeouts in the inning, but a hanging breaking ball costs Henderson Alvarez a 2-run home run. But he goes back to his very good changeup and strikes out Johnny Damon, but Tampa has taken the lead. Bay has taken a 2-1 lead on Desmond Jennings' 6th home run of the season. Mike McCoy, 2nd consecutive start in center field. It has been reported that Colby Rasmus is on the DL. That's inaccurate. He will be on the DL tomorrow. He is in uniform on the bench and could theoretically pinch run if needed. There's a flare into right. Matt Joyce over to his left makes the catch. With 1 out here in the 3rd, let's check in with Jamie Campbell.
Yep.
There's Kobe Rasmus on the bench, and he's got a wrist problem. He will be disabled tomorrow. At the same time, Dwayne Wise, who was picked up by the Blue Jays, should show up. He's due to report to the team tomorrow.
Nothing wrong with his legs. It's his wrist. And he can help the ball club tonight if he can pinch run. If this game stays a one-run game, close, he might have to pinch run.
Bouncing ball, Longoria tips it, and Brignac can't get it. Longoria went after it, got a piece of it, and Brignac looked like he was going to be able to make the play, but Longoria has to go after it. Not sure whether or not he can cut in front of him.
Anytime a third baseman can get over there and make the play, it's a lot easier than having that shortstop go in the hole and try and go across the diamond with the throw. This is where the great range of Evan Longoria might have hurt him, because he just can't come up with it. He just tips it right off the end of his glove. You see Brignac was ready to make the play.
Boy, they give Longoria an error on that play, and I really have a tough time with that.
How can that be an error?
That's not an error. Exceptional effort. He barely got a piece of it. You're going to give him an error on that?
I'm not changing it.
I still have a hit in my book.
So do I.
Eric Thames bats with 1 out. Good thing I didn't erase it. It's been changed to a hit. They must have a monitor down there.
I hope with the sound up.
Following a strike to Eric Thames. Thames had a broken bat single in the first. Blue Jays over there head-to-head matchups against James Shields. They hit him well. They have a .291 average against Shields coming into this game. He's 8-5 in 17 career starts against the Jays. There's a rocket into right field. One hop to the right fielder. Escobar stops at second. Thames is 2 for 2.
He certainly looks comfortable hitting against James Shields. That changeup negating against Thames if he's got the good plate coverage. That was a very quick swing. Watch his hands stay back and then just rifle that ball into right field.
Oh, great balance. He stays back and uses those quick hands. Thames 2 for 2. Jose Bautista was called out on a pitch he thought was outside. Bautista is 6 for 19 against Shields with a couple of home runs.
He has hit 5 home runs against Tampa this year. He's driven in 5 runs. So they've pitched to him with nobody on base. But when they get guys on base, they see a lot of off-speed pitches. Jose sees it from him.
Well, Joe Madden was the first that really started using the intentional pass to Bautista. Even when Bautista represented the tying run, Joe Madden has always been proactive in that department. He did it with Bautista. He's done it with Ortiz in the past.
He'll pick out that one guy in the lineup and says, "You're not going to beat me."
0-2. Off-speed pitch. Really took something off that big breaking ball. Bautista has gone down on strikes twice.
Again, runners on base, a lot of off-speed pitches to Jose Bautista from the Tampa Bay Rays. Breaking ball down and away. I think that's the first time that Shields has thrown on that pitch here tonight.
Adam Lind hit the ball hard his first time up, but he lined out to the left fielder. Breaking ball bounced up the middle. Zobrist backhands and goes to second for the force out. Good play at second base by Zobrist. Took the backhand and fired to Brignac covering second. Blue Jays will strand Sal Fasano in his first year at AA, also the manager of the year. Darnell hit .317, 32 doubles, 19 home runs. And the team, the Fisher Cats, had a 71-60 record. Sal Fasano was the manager of the year. Boy, great accomplishment by that entire team.
.378 on-base percentage for Darno. Team is 71-60, best record in the Eastern League.
Evan Longoria drives this one towards center field. It is high and gone. They mentioned Longoria has been on a home run tear. That's his 23rd of the season and his 12th in his last 40 games.
Nobody has driven in more runs than Evan Longoria since the middle of June. He had 22 home runs last year in 151 games for Tampa. This is number 23 in his 101st game this year. One of those grooves drives it to the deepest part of the ballpark and out. First pitch swinging. File that one away.
Longoria has been red hot. The average hasn't jumped, but boy, the power numbers are right there. Little tapper back to the mound. Zobrist is retired on the comebacker. One out. Evan Longoria came into this game batting just .234. He started out the season on the DL. He had a side strain, kept him out of the lineup. When we saw him, he was very tentative early in the season. Didn't have that commitment through his swing, and he is a healthy, much more dangerous hitter right now.
The RBIs just keep going up and up and up. That's 9 home runs now in the month of August. The best in baseball.
He was tied with Curtis Granderson at 8, and now he has separated himself as the leader. Casey Kochman struck out. Kochman struck out on a slider down and in, and that may have led to the problems for Henderson Alvarez. He threw a slider to Desmond Jennings and he hung it, and Jennings hit it out of the ballpark. I think it's easier for a right-handed pitcher to throw a slider to a left-handed batter because you really have a point of reference. You know you've got to finish it down and in. You can't leave it out over the plate. Against the right-hander, there's really no target because there's the batter and then the whole plate sits out there, and there's nothing that you can reference as far as where I need to throw it.
No visual. For a lefty, you've got that whole back door you can open up and just throw it. Try and catch the outside corner.
Big bouncing ball to second. Kelly Johnson. Berlin, 2 down.
Now that doesn't mean you can't throw it to a right-hander. You have to learn to do it. And I think this is going to be, again, a great 4 weeks for Henderson Alvarez to learn what it's like at 21 years old to pitch in the big leagues.
No, obviously the slider is a very good pitch, right-hander to right-hander. But I think when you're learning, like Alvarez, that lefty gives you a better idea what you really need to do with it. It probably makes you focus on finishing. B.J. Upton struck out on a high fastball his first time up. Beats that two-seamer right into his legs. Tampa Bay has scored 3 here tonight, and we are just in the 4th inning. That's half as many runs as they scored in 4 games against the Tigers. And they lost 3 of those 4 games
at home. This team has played so well on the road, Tampa. Joe Maddon's been trying to figure it out. He had a day on the road or at home last homestand where he told all the players, I don't want to see you before 3 o'clock. I want to simulate like we are on the road because they play so much better when they leave Tropicana.
Those are 2 tough pitches to take. But Tampa Bay, when you look at their record, 35-28 on the road, just 35-31 at home. And you would think the reverse would be the case, as it has been for the last several years. Tampa Bay always had a good home record because everybody else got flat-footed down there. No atmosphere. The ballpark isn't conducive to a lot of excitement, and Joe Maddon's team would take advantage of that.
They had a definite home field advantage at Tropicana Field. If you weren't used to going into that place, it was like Minnesota back in the day when they played at the Metrodome.
Upton takes a walk. Tampa Bay has turned things around, and they got off to a slow start, just like the Boston Red Sox. But you see, since the 28th of July, they are right there neck and neck with the Yankees.
It's all built around pitching and defense for Tampa. They've got great starting pitching. They catch the ball, the best in the American League. If they could get a little bit more consistent hitting, I think the Rays would be just okay. If they've got the best record since July the 28th, the last month.
To give you a good idea how good their pitching has been, their starters have pitched 91 of their previous 107 innings before tonight's game. That's 85% of the innings are pitched by starters. They have a consecutive streak going, 10 straight games in which their starter has pitched at least 7 innings.
That'll make your job a little bit easier if you're the manager of that team.
Make your job a lot easier if you're a manager. You don't have to figure out how you're going to get outs in the 5th and 6th. But they can pitch. And James Shields is the oldest. He's 29. 2 outs. Upton at first. Matt Joyce was retired on a broken bat. Grounded to first. He had his bat shattered. Alvarez needs to get back to getting ahead with that fastball.
Yeah, I think he needs to forget about that runner right now and concentrate on that batter. 2 outs. Thrown over a couple of times with Upton at first. Got great speed at first.
Tim Sheena, the first base umpire, called it before it got to the base, and that's really not his call. The ball's the umpire's call until it passes first base.
That's the home plate umpire's call. Until it gets to the bag, it's fair. Yeah, I know he got it right because Lynn caught the ball in foul territory.
Two balls and a strike. Upton with a bigger lead. Not running. There's a base hit into right field. Upton will jog into second. Bautista gets it back quickly. First and second, 2 down. A 2-out walk and a Matt Joyce base hit. Molina's going to the mound right now, and I would have a twofold message for Henderson Alvarez. First, you got a runner at second. We got to protect the sign. Secondly, let's go with the fastball. Let's get ahead.
Forget about the runners. There's 2 outs. This is the guy you want right here. But you're right. Make sure you're on the same page when it comes to the signs. The other thing, let's go. Let's attack this guy and get out of this inning.
Alvarez gave up a home run on the first pitch to Longoria on a fastball, but he didn't put it where he wanted it. Left it up in the zone. Longoria has been hot, and he knocked it out of the arm. John Jaso, the catcher, he was hit by a pitch, and controversy hit by a pitch back in the 3rd inning. First pitch swinging, lazy fly ball into center. Jaso's retired. Tampa Bay adds a run on Evan Longoria's leadoff home run, middle of the 4th. Tampa Bay leads 3-1. Visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. Sharp Aquos makes bigger, better. Last time Edwin Encarnacion started off the inning, it was the second, and Brett Laurie went deep with 1 out. So it'll be Encarnacion, Laurie, and Kelly Johnson here in the fourth. Blue Jays trail by 2. Shields has done an interesting job with that fastball. He's thrown the fastball up on the first pitch several times tonight just to put it in the hitter's mind, and then he stays away from it.
I think there's a couple of hitters on the Blue Jays lineup who will swing at that first pitch high fastball. It looks very inviting. You feel like you can knock it out of the ballpark. A lot of times you just pop it up or swing right through it. He'll throw it up there for a reason.
Shields looks like he was amused at what Jason was offering, and now they can't get together. They're having. You remember what I throw, dude? How about that one? Okay. There's that high changeup. It is so good. He really sells it with his arm action. Hitters see that quick fastball arm action, and then he throws the changeup.
And throws it out of the same arm slot as the fastball and the other breaking pitchers. And again, he'll throw 2, 3, 4 times in a row.
Popped up. B.J. Upton takes command. He's the center fielder. 1 out. Brett Laurie back in the second.
Fastball down and in, and you don't want to throw him that pitch. You might think you can get it by him, but he's so quick on the inner half. That's home run number 5 already.
.66 at bats, 5 home runs. He's got 11 extra base hits.
That's one thing that when young players come up, do they attack the ball? Do they have that ability to get extra base hits?
Boy, Shields and Jason are having a tough time getting together.
They're going through the whole set of signs like the Kansas City Royals did when we were playing them the last time.
Oh, cutter missed off the plate. Shields is all about rhythm, and he likes to work quickly. Keeps the pressure on the hitters. We have seen him throw as quick a games as anybody in the league. He gets the ball, rocks and fires, and when Jaso doesn't get to the right pitch, that knocks him out of his rhythm.
And it takes so long to get to it. Look how many signs he is going through.
Borderline strike upstairs. That has been a point of concern for visiting teams since that controversy came out. Joe Girardi sparked it. Joe Madden even talked about a little bit about possibly Blue Jays getting some signs from the seats in center field. But nobody has proven it. It's died down. But because of that, all the catchers are now giving multiple signs and series of signals and outside indicators oftentimes. We saw that with Salvador Perez in the Kansas City series. 3-1, 1 out. Shields is getting agitated.
Yeah, and I think that works to the Blue Jays' advantage. Pitchers like James Shields, you're right, they like to get into that nice rhythm. Good release point, work quickly, throw strikes.
And they still can't get on the same page.
He homered last time off of a fastball. Let's go with something off speed.
Nolan Ryan would get to this point of a game and say, you know what, I'll call the pitches from the mound. I saw him do that in Anaheim one night when he was throwing to a catcher named Ike Hampton. That's a cutter. Again, a borderline pitch down and away.
How do you give the signs?
With his hat.
With his hat?
touched his hat in 3 different spots. Touched the top, the logo, and the bill. Good changeup. All right, Shields can pitch, man. He's got a wide assortment of pitches, and he'll always throw you that changeup.
Even when you fall behind like you did to Brett Lawrie, you threw him a cutter for a strike, and then 3-2 cambio. Changeup right there, and Lawrie timing messed up just a little bit.
Kelly Johnson lined out to left fielder his first time up. There's that curveball, a little bit bigger break, a little bit slower than that slider. Shields is ready for the next pitch. Changeup, 3-pitch strikeout, back-to-back strikeouts. That does it in the 4th. Tampa Bay leads it 3-1 after 4. Now it's time for Jay's Connected Update. Here's and the Rays. Hockey season just around the corner. I'm sure hockey camp is not too far away. So a good time to relax and enjoy a ball game. Top of the 5th inning, a 3-1 ball game. Tampa Bay with a couple of home runs against Henderson Alvarez. Desmond Jennings a 2-run shot. Evan Longoria a solo home run to lead off the 4th. First pitch strike. Reed Brignac, the shortstop, struck out on a changeup his first time.
We've been talking a little bit tonight about the development of Henderson Alvarez as a pitcher. There's a few other mechanical things that the Blue Jays are trying to do with him. You see he's got that turn a la his idol Felix Hernandez. When he first came up here, he had a 2-part windup. He would turn and then his hand would come out of his glove, and a lot of times the lower half was getting ahead of his upper half. What the Blue Jays have tried to do, they make it go together.
Change up, strike 3 call. Brignac strikes out for a second time tonight. That's strikeout number 5 for Henderson Alvarez.
It's working so far. Watch how he turns. The hand comes out of the glove all in one motion. And right there, that's a good changeup, high enough, and it catches the outside part of the plate.
Alvarez gets ahead of Jennings with the fastball. Let's watch how he attacks Jennings this time up. He threw him a helicopter cement mixer slider, and he hit a home run.
I think he's going to go right after him.
No swing, according to Tim Sheedy down at first. Henderson Alvarez kind of spun out of his delivery and didn't finish over that front side. 2 balls and a strike, 1 out. Changeup. Good hop for Laurie. 2 outs here in the 5th. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. He's got an update. That's a big concern there in New York with the Yankees. It's the starting pitching after CC Sabathia. Last night, Phil Hughes started in that game against Rich Harden. He went just 2 2/3.
Yankees scored 22, and he can't get a decision.
Yeah. They were down 7-1 to Rich Harden, and Oakland couldn't hang on. I guess you say they did worse than trying to hang on. 22 runs the Yankees scored on 21 hits. 3 grand slams for the first time in Yankee history in the same game. Johnny Damon waves with a changeup. 2 more strikeouts for Alvarez here in the 5th. The changeup gets Damon for a second time here tonight. That's a 500 record, obviously. Look at his ERA and the opponent's batting average. Once again, reflecting the lack of run support given him by his offense.
2 earned run average of 2 against the East. Yankees, Red Sox, Blue Jays. Throw in Baltimore, too. They can hit. The big game James, his numbers, pitches deep into the ball game. His 1-loss record could be a lot better.
Yeah, if you want to find out if Baltimore can hit, just ask A.J. Burnett.
No kidding.
Tonight he is getting hammered by the Orioles. Jose Molina, first pitch swinging. Mentioned James Shields, part of a very effective Tampa Bay starter staff. 10 consecutive starts with at least 7 innings from their starter. And there's a pretty effective left-hander, David Price. He's even helping clean up the dugout. He can do it all.
You know, the thing about Shields is with the complete games, it's how efficient he is when he is out on the mound. No messing around, throws a lot of strikes. He averages 14 pitches an inning. That's the best in his career. It's also the best in the majors. 14 pitches per inning. he makes quick work of it. This is another 3-pitch strikeout. He had one to end the 4th inning against Johnson and has one here to start the 5th against Molina.
3 strikeouts in a row now. Shields has 6. McCoy goes after the first pitch and lofts it high, but way back into the seats. Shields is an interesting contract situation for Tampa Bay. He's got a couple more club options. He signed through this season, but after this season, there are 2 more club options they can pick up. Actually, 3 club options, 3 one-year club options. It'd be an interesting test for Tampa Bay to see if they will keep him. They've got young starters coming along all over the place.
The Moore kid in AA is just tearing it up. That's why you heard James Shields' names a lot around the trade deadline. Cincinnati Reds supposedly interested in James Shields. They were going with, excuse me, Buck, with 6 starters at one time this year.
Most clubs are having trouble finding 4. Tampa Bay was embarrassed by their riches. They have another guy, Alex Cobb, a young pitcher who is very good. Boy, Jeff Neiman has been great lately. Healthy finally. Throwing the ball very well. How about Jeremy Hellickson? He lost 2-0 to the Tigers yesterday. He's a rookie. He had 4 strikeouts in the 3rd inning yesterday. Austin Jackson struck out and reached on a wild pitch, and then he struck out 3 more guys. He ended up with 4 strikeouts in the inning. That's the first time Tampa Bay's had that happen. Like McCoy pulls it foul. But one thing, Tampa Bay, it's really interesting too. I mean, Tampa Bay is going to have some options, and you think about trading. They traded Matt Garza,
right,
to the Cubs. And Jeremy Hellickson is a guy that they have control over. This is his first season, so they're not going to move him anytime soon. One out walk to McCoy.
It's Canada's best-selling car 13 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Well, let's see if Blue Jays can get something going here. Back to the top of the order. McCoy reaches with 1 out. Escobar's 1 for 2. He had a infield base hit off the glove of Evan Longoria back in the 3rd. Shields is tough to run on. Blue Jays really haven't been that aggressive on the bases of late. Yeah, they've lost their 3 key base stealers from early in the season. Rajay Davis with that bad ankle and a torn hamstring now. Bouncing ball. Brignac backs up, goes to second. That's all they'll get. McCoy is out on the force at second.
They've lost about 60% of their base stealers. They're not even on the roster right now. You mentioned Rajay Davis. Corey Patterson's been traded, and so has Aaron Hill. So the base stealing has really gone down the last month or so, 2 months. Really haven't had that threat on the bases like they did at the beginning of the season.
It was an integral part of the Blue Jays offense, not so much just because they could steal a base, but that threat of the steal was a distraction. We saw it early in the season, right up through the All-Star break, how pitchers would be aware of the Blue Jays running game, and that would lead to bad pitches and mistakes to the hitters.
Not just stealing bases, but stealing runs.
Thames goes after the first pitch and bounces out to Kochman at first. James Shields leaves another Blue Jay on the bases after 5. Tampa Bay out in front.
career highs so far in strikeouts at the big league level with the 6 that he has put up. And James Shields doing his thing. Shields is coming off a game where he gave up a season-high 12 hits in his last start. But tonight he looks very sharp.
Evan Longoria jumped on the first pitch his last time up and drilled a home run to left center. There's that first pitch. Fastball for a strike. Breaking ball. High to center field. McCoy will watch this one sail away. McCoy initially thought the ball was going to stay in the ballpark, but it carried right out to center. Longoria has gone deep in back-to-back at-bats. Another breaking ball.
You know, and it's an effortless swing by Evan Longoria when he's at the plate. A lot like Brett Laurie, how the ball really jumps off of his bat. He's very calm at the plate, recognizes that it's a breaking ball, and he smokes at the center field. Give him 24 home runs now this year.
That ball just kept carrying. It looked like McCoy thought he had a chance to make a play on the ball. Zobrist pulls it foul. Boy, you talk about a contrasting style in hitting. Dave Martinez said, "This is my guy right here. I knew you were going to hit." Tom Foley, the third base coach, that's who they're getting on. Dave Martinez said, "I've been working with him lately, not anybody else."
In fact, I've been working on him all month.
Tom Foley has been with the Rays since day one. Former Expo, came over the Rays, worked in the minor league system. He's been on Joe Maddon's staff as the third base coach.
This is where a young pitcher like Henderson Alvarez has to slow the game down right here. Looks like he's trying to rush through it now after giving up that third home run of the game.
And there's a walk to Zobrist.
No, called it a strike.
Called it a strike.
Then Zobrist doesn't show up the umpire. Thought that that one's outside. He's got a great eye.
Whoops.
Yep.
Full count. Nobody out. We are in the 6th. Zobrist pops it into left Thames. Over in the gap, makes the catch. Fans, a reminder, you can follow the Jays online with Jays Game Zone and chat live with Sportsnet personalities Shai Davidi and Mike Wilner. All on sportsnet.ca. So if you're watching a game, you have a question, just log on to sportsnet.ca. Check out Game Zone. Shai Davidi and Mike Wilner will break it all down for you. Casey Kochman takes one outside. Evan Longoria has 2 home runs tonight. Second multi-home run game this season, his 8th career. He is certainly a big part of Tampa Bay's push toward the postseason. It's good to see him hot now if you're a Tampa Bay fan. Still trying to break down Henderson Alvarez. Alvarez only given up 4 hits, but 3 of them have left the yard. You're right about it. It looks like Alvarez is a little bit rushed right now. There's a lot of difference between being quick to the plate and rushing to the plate.
Good pitch there. Again, a lot of it has to do with the turn and the arm angle, so they work together. Make sure he gets that arm up before he starts heading towards home plate with his delivery.
A changeup, and Kochman laid off. Casey Kochman will be on base for the first time tonight. Chris Walton coming out of the dugout, and at that same time the Blue Jays bullpen is going to work. Henderson Alvarez pitched 6 innings his last time out against the Athletics. He threw a total of 107 pitches in that game. Right now he's at 98.
Gave up 7 hits but just 1 earned run in that game. Tonight I think he's pitched a fantastic game. He's just made a couple of mistakes with his 3rd best pitch.
Youngster Joel Carreño was impressive in his only major league appearance. Starts to loosen up. B.J. Upton pops it down the left side. Laurie quickly over. Makes the catch. Gets the ball over to Kelly Johnson to keep Kotchman at first. B.J. Upton retired on a pop foul.
Henderson Alvarez gets in the kitchen of B.J. Upton. It's a soft liner down the left field line. And there's that athleticism that we have been watching now the last couple of weeks from Laurie, the 3rd baseman. Wasn't hit that high.
2 young third basemen, obviously Evan Longoria, the more established of the 2, and they play a different style. Longoria, very smooth actions. Brett Laurie, very aggressive. But similar results.
Similar the way the ball comes off the bat. Talking about that earlier today. Longoria, the way the ball comes off his bat, it just carries. Same thing with Brett Laurie.
Bounce back to Alvarez. Joyce is retired and Alvarez gets out of the 6th, but Evan Longoria, 2nd home run of the night. Tampa leads by 3. RogersOnDemand.com. You can take your Jays anywhere with you with Rogers On Demand. Blue Jays got to get something going against James Shields. He has settled in nicely here. Through 5 innings, Blue Jays have managed just 4 hits and a single run off Shields. First pitch breaking ball for a strike. That ball had late break on it. It looked like it dropped over the inside corner very late, and Bautista saw it out in front, and it was still probably inside.
Gave up on a little bit. It looked like it handcuffed Jaso, the catcher.
That one went behind Bautista. Another curveball that really backed up.
The pitch that he struck him out with his last time up. Now he's liable to go anywhere. Remember, nobody on base. Tends to challenge him just a little bit more.
Changeup. 3 breaking balls and a changeup. Shields has a 3-run cushion here. Another breaking ball. You saw Shields look up to his right. Pitchers are into a game, but every once in a while they'll look up and see what the count is. Look up on the sideline, check the scoreboard, just a reminder. Okay, it's 2-2. Now what am I to do? He has thrown that pitch very effectively all night long.
Just using it to set up his other pitches. Again, he doesn't throw it by you, but he uses it to back you off the plate and then come with something off speed. Throw it up high and then throw a change up. There it is.
Slow curveball. Bautista goes down for a 3rd time tonight. Fast breaking ball.
Fastball up and in the prior pitch to just push him back off the plate, and then goes to that breaking ball for the strikeout. And he's got Jose way out front. I love the arm action that he throws that curveball with. It's just like the changeup. It's just like the fastball. And you get a lot of those type of swings way out front.
Adam Lind. Lind has gone 0 for 2. Fielder's choice in a lineup. Give you an idea what Jose Bautista thinks about his night. Good changeup. Shields can be frustrated, and now Bautista, somebody's been thrown out. Bill Welke from home plate threw somebody out, and here comes all the equipment as Bautista evidently has been tossed out of the game.
That's going to cost him. Hasn't been happy with the strike zone tonight. He let Bill Welke know it. Got thrown out of the game, and then the equipment started coming on the field.
Welke heard something from the dugout and threw him out right after Bautista had smashed his bat up against the back of the dugout. But they have had words since the first at bat way back in the first. High and deep to right field. Matt Joyce on the warning track and will make the catch just in front of the wall. Lynn just missed it. That slow breaking ball just out in front a bit.
Just a little bit, got it out in front. You see Shields knows that he got away with one. Adam Lynn drifts to the ball just a little bit. It hits it off the end of the bat. Oh, so close to the sweet spot. He thinks he has enough of it. I thought he got enough of it down the right field line. But then once it got into the outfield, it just died in front of the wall.
Lynn had 5 career home runs against Shields. Thought that was number 6. Edwin Encarnacion. Mentioned Tampa Bay has had a streak of 10 consecutive games in which their starter has gone at least 7 innings. Sharply hit, but right to Brignac. It's short. 3 up, 3 down in the 6th. The Blue Jays go quietly. Shields is shutting them down on just 4 hits. ejection. And then he was tossed and threw some things on the field. Martin comes off the bench to take over defensively here to start the 7th inning. And it'll be a new pitcher as well, as Henderson Alvarez will be finished here tonight. Joel Carreño, also up from Double-A.
He came in the other night in his first major league action and got 3 in the 3rd innings, gave up 4 hits. I thought he looked really well. He threw his fastball for strikes. He's got a little bit of a slider and a changeup, but he'll come right after you. No fear on this young kid when he got into the ball game the other night. His fastball has got a little bit of a sink up to it, like Henderson Alvarez fastball. James Shields, on the other hand, through 6 innings, he has struck out 7 batters, giving up just 1 run.
Shield going for his 12th win of the season. John Jaso, the catcher, takes the first pitch strike. Carreño doesn't have the raw velocity of Henderson Alvarez, but he's got dramatic movement on his fastball as well.
Certainly does, and it's free and easy as you watch him on the mound. He's got a nice delivery. The ball comes out. He too is a work in progress, a young player who started this year in A-ball, moved his way up to the big leagues. Blue Jays getting a chance to look at him over the last 6 weeks of the season.
He's got a lot of confidence in his slider. He'll throw that slider in time, and it's a strikeout pitch for him. Carreño was a starting pitcher in Double-A for the Fisher Cats. He went 7-9, but had a very good ERA at 3.41. He also had 152 strikeouts. Breaking ball high and deep to right. Teeing back, looking up. This ball is gone. John Jaso has gone deep. His 4th of the season. The 4th Tampa Bay home run tonight.
Looked like a breaking ball to John Jaso. Just his 4th home run of the season. He spent some time on the disabled list. Jaso gets the breaking ball there. It hangs out over the middle of the plate, and he doesn't miss it. Hits it over the bullpen in right field.
Boy, with 2 strikes, you better not throw a breaking ball in the strike zone. Most American League hitters, they'll shorten up and put that ball in play. You've got to have a strike the ball breaking ball, one that looks like a strike and breaks out of the zone. There's a line drive in the left. Thames plays it on a hop. Brignac has his first hit of the night. Carreño has been greeted rudely by Tampa Bay.
Pitching line for Henderson Alvarez as he finishes up his 4th big league start. 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 of them the home runs, accounting for all the earned runs against him tonight. A career high in strikeouts with 6. I think Henderson Alvarez looked a little bit better tonight than he did against Oakland.
Dealing with a pennant contending ball club, and one that has a couple of hot hitters. Evan Longoria with a couple of home runs, and this man right here, Desmond Jennings, his 2-run home run got Tampa Bay off and running. Brignac at first with a single. Ball on the strike. We're in the 7th inning. Tampa Bay, we mentioned how challenged they have been offensively. They scored a total of 6 runs in the 4-game series against the Tigers. Tonight they have scored 5.
They come into this game 11th in the American League in batting average.
Foul ball.
But that's not what they're about. The batting average. They are 3rd in walks behind the Yankees and the Red Sox. They are third in stolen bases. And tonight they're showing their ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Well, they lost Carlos Pena to free agency a year ago, and he was a big home run threat. Didn't hit for much of an average, but he was a big contributor to the offense. Tampa Bay at the start of play tonight, 9.5 games back, third place in the AL East. Way outside. Tampa Bay has a very challenging schedule coming into this game tonight. 31 of their final 37 games will be played against teams with a record of 500 better. They're going to play a lot of good teams down the stretch. Only the Orioles sub 500 in their schedule.
They get the Yankees and Red Sox plenty the next month.
Now the standings, Red Sox 30 games over 500. Yankees, they can score a lot of runs, but again tonight their starting pitching is getting hammered. Last night it was Phil Hughes, tonight A.J. Burnett. 2-2. Breaking ball called strike 3. Jennings is retired, first out of the inning.
And he knew it too. Breaking ball by Carreño. Freezes the right-handed hitter and it splits the plate. 7 strikeouts now tonight for Blue Jay pitcher.
Johnny Damon grounded to second. Kelly Johnson to Escobar, back to first. Not in time. Boy, it looked like Damon was just a bit late getting to first. I thought they had turned 2.
You always have a chance when you've got that arm of Escobar turning it in the middle of the diamond. Kelly Johnson does a good job. The ball wasn't hit that hard by Damon. Johnson gives him a good feed, and here comes the rocket across the infield. But first base umpire, the crew chief, Tim Cheetah, calls him safe, and it's a good call.
Yeah, it sure was. You get a second look at it, and Damon was past first base. So the red-hot Evan Longoria will get a chance with Damon aboard and 2 down. The average doesn't reflect the impact that Longoria's had.
When we first saw him this year, he was just coming off the disabled list. First game back was against the Blue Jays down in Tampa. You could just tell his timing was off. Just wasn't there, but he started heating up in June, and he hasn't slowed down.
11 of his last 13 extra base hits have been homers. Had 2 homers in the Tigers series. There's that breaking ball that Carreño started right at Longoria's hip. Evan Longoria's not getting a lot of hits, but he's getting big hits. 2-1, 2 down. Bounced to short. Heyman is forced out. But John Jaso tacks on another homer. 5-1 Rays. sportsnet.ca/magazine. You can it's going to feature a lot of great articles, some fabulous photography. Sign up quickly to get your copy of Sportsnet magazine. Bottom of the 7th inning. Brett Lawrie will start things off against James Shields. Laurie's 1 for 2. Homered in his first at bat, takes a first pitch strike. Shields pitching here in the 7th has thrown just 78 pitches. Changeup. You mentioned how efficient Shields has been throughout his career, and he's doing that again tonight.
14.3 pitches per inning. That's the best in his career.
Strike 3 called. Another 3-pitch strikeout. With 1 out here in the 7th, let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Oakland hasn't had any trouble scoring runs since the All-Star break. And they had a terrible start to their season offensively. Kelly Johnson has gone 0 for 2 tonight. Blue Jays with just 4 hits against James Shields. Eric Thames has 2 of those 4 hits. Ball in the strike. Kelly Johnson talked about coming to the American League and said, this is the get it ready league. And he did. He got it ready and singled into center.
Get the bat ready and swing, because the pitchers will challenge you here. In the olden days, there was a lot of breaking balls, and here they're going to challenge you. Johnson will pick up his 2nd hit as a Blue Jay, single right back through the middle.
Jose Molina has been a very effective first pitch hitter all season long. 0 for 2. Molina's average has dipped under 300. Shields trying to make it 11 consecutive games by a Rays starter pitching at least 7 innings. That's a great stretch. Breaking ball for a strike. Anytime you get your starter pitching that deep in a ball game, you really have the advantage when you do go to your bullpen, because then you pick and choose who you want.
You got the matchups that you need. The righty versus the righty, lefty versus lefty. You only have a couple of innings to do that. Most teams have a closer. So really it's just 1 inning if you have the lead. He has 9 complete games again. That's more than 25 teams.
Look at David Price. It's like he's at a movie. You got a bag of popcorn sitting there watching James Shields do his thing. And boy, this is a lot of fun. You come here often?
Does anybody have as much fun as that guy?
Well, I tell you what, Dan, we have heard a lot of great stories about his enthusiasm. He's the biggest cheerleader on the team, rooting for everybody all the time.
You know what else, Buck? It's his birthday today.
Yeah, maybe that's why he's having a little popcorn. 26 years old today. Two and two to Molina. Fouled on. Fans here at Rogers Center recognized it was his birthday. A bunch of folks down there were singing happy birthday to him, and he's got a happy birthday set of balloons.
And he tucked the balloons in his back pocket.
Bounce toward third. Longoria waits on it, goes to second. Johnson, and Molina beats out the return throw. Kelly Johnson's retired at second. Longoria said, you know what? I know Molina doesn't run well, so let's see if we can't turn 2.
Yeah, you got to take a shot at it. Playing deep, he has to back up on the ball, get it on the big hop. Kelly Johnson did a good job of going in there and distracting Ben Zobrist. The ball just wasn't hit hard enough to turn 2.
Two down for the number 9 hitter, Mike McCoy. Goes after the first pitch. Blue Jays have had a tough time scoring runs. Tonight, the Blue Jays 3, 4, and 5 hitters have gone 0 for 9 with 4 strikeouts. Those are the guys you need to drive in runs, and it's just been a little tough stretch for them. Bruce Chen, Jeff Francis, 2 left-handers beat them in the Kansas City series. They lost 2 of the 3 games to the Royals.
Ran into some good pitching out in Oakland also. Gio Gonzalez pitched a whale of a game against them.
Rich Harden, Gio Gonzalez, Guillermo Moscoso, and Moscoso took the tough luck loss. Lost 1-0. Luis Perez picking up his first win as a starter. Molina broke and Shields caught him, and he'll be tagged out. Molina, anticipating that Shields was going to throw it to the plate, broke early, and Shields just stepped off, and they tagged Molina out at second. That's how the Jays will end the 7th inning. Jose Molina just guessing with Shields, and Shields calmly steps off and then throws to Zobrist for the putout. He no-hit the AA team tonight, so McGowan didn't have much to work with, but he had another good outing.
Yeah, good news is Dustin McGowan is working his way back to Toronto. I think we'll see him in September. 4 2/3 innings, just 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts for McGowan. The bad news is they got no hit. But anytime you see Dustin McGowan back on the mound and going deeper and deeper into the ballgame, that's a good thing.
If everything goes according to plan, Dustin McGowan will make one more start, and that'll take place on the 31st of August. And then keep your fingers crossed, he could be right here with the Blue Jays when the rosters expand September 1st. Ben Zobrist pulls the first pitch foul. Joel Carreño pitching his second inning of relief. Carreño came into the game in the 7th and gave up A solo home run to leadoff batter John Jaso. Little comebacker back to the mound.
It's Canada's best-selling car 13 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Casey Kotchman has gone 0 for 2 with a walk. Tampa Bay's hit 4 home runs tonight. Third time this season the Blue Jays have given up 4 home runs in the game. They gave up 4 to the Red Sox here on June 12th, and then 4 to the Orioles on July 26th. Both of those games were ugly games. Boston had 17 hits. They scored 14 runs. Baltimore had 16 hits. They scored 12. This one is still within reach.
Sure.
John Jaso's 4th home run of the season was the 4th home run of the ball game for Tampa Bay. Three and 1 to Casey Kotchman, the first baseman. Another comebacker. 2 outs here in the 8th.
We've had a few of those tonight, and I think that shows the sinking fastball, first from Henderson Alvarez and now from Joel Carreño. Those comebackers to the mound, that's 4 times tonight that the Rays have hit one right back to the mound.
David Price is hoping it's a double feature tonight. Got a big bag of popcorn. He is a kid, boy. He loves baseball. He loves his teammates, and a pretty good pitcher. He was the first overall pick in the draft in 2007. They got some pitching staff.
We will see him on Sunday afternoon here.
Price will go up against Brandon Morrow. That's game 3 of this 4-game wraparound series. Reminder, it's a 4-game series. Friday night, 2 afternoon games over the weekend, and then Monday night, the 4th of the series. 2-2. Popped up down the right side. Mark Teahen gives it a look, but it's well back out of play. Teahen is in right field in place of Jose Bautista, who was ejected after his at-bat in the 6th inning. If you're just joining us, Dwayne Wise has been picked up on a waiver claim by the Blue Jays. He will be here tomorrow and be activated. At that time, the Blue Jays anticipate putting Colby Rasmus on the DL with that wrist injury. If you've not heard Travis Snyder, it sounds like his season is over down in the minor leagues. He has tendonitis in his right wrist, which will need 4 to 6 weeks to heal. Strike 3 called. Breaking ball. Catches B.J. Upton looking. Joel Carreño has a 1-2-3 8th inning. Blue Jays trail 5-1. Time for a connected update. Here's Jamie and Greg live in the Blackberry broadcast studio here at Rogers Center. Off on kids tickets. The next Junior J Saturday will be tomorrow. Jays and Rays, Game 2. Game will start at 1:07 p.m. Kids 14 and under receive 50% off tickets to all Saturday home games. 200 outfield and 500 level seats only. Call the Blue Jays directly at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. You are running out of opportunities. Only 3 more Junior Jays Saturdays after tomorrow. Mike McCoy jumps on the first pitch and singles back into center field. That starts the Jays' 8th inning.
Good start against Shields. He's now thrown into the 8th inning, so the streak is alive for Tampa Bay, throwing at least 7 innings.
It's 11 straight games now, and that matches the Seattle Mariners of 2003. It's the last team to throw 11 straight games by their starter with 7 innings or more. Interesting pitching staff for the Seattle team in 2003. Jamie Moyer, Freddie Garcia, Ryan Franklin, Joel Pinheiro, and Gil Mesh. They all made 32 starts.
They all threw strikes. They all worked quickly. They didn't overpower you. A lot like some of the pitchers on this Tampa Bay team. I guess David Price would be the only guy who'd really be called a power pitcher.
Mike McCoy got hit on that pickoff to first base. Not sure where he got hit, but the ball got away from Kochman as he never put a glove on it. Shields' throw was into the base runner. Not sure where it hit McCoy.
Shields has a very quick move over at first base. This one will tell you where he got it.
Right in the helmet, isn't it? Like Kochman reached right over his helmet. Like hit him right in the back of the head. Oh, 1-2. McCoy at first, nobody out. 8th inning. Blue Jays need to get something going. They're running out of time. Shields making his 18th career start against the Blue Jays. He's 8-5. But he's 2-0 this season.
And he has beaten them 6 out of the last 8 times that he has faced them. He has found something against the Blue Jays to his liking.
Well, we know Shields goes deep in the ball game. He leads the American League in complete games by 5. He has 9 complete games. Well, there's another good changeup. Escobar is down on strikes. 1 out here in the 8th. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Any accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Eric Thames, the only Blue Jay hitter that's had a good night against Shields. He's 2 for 3. Shields has 9 strikeouts now.
You know, his previous best in terms of complete games in a season, 3. He did that in 2008. 3 times that now this year. Probably won't get a complete game here tonight. They have some action in the bullpen. He's over 100 pitches now. Joe Madden, by getting his starter into the 8th inning, makes his job a lot easier.
Backdoor breaking ball for a strike. Well, Joe Maddon's now trying to figure out how he can close ground on those front-running ball clubs and get into the postseason. Or he's going to try to manage his starters, make sure they don't run out of gas down the stretch. He and Jim Hickey work very well together, trying to map out the workload for the starters. You mentioned earlier they used 6 starters for a while.
That helped to keep the innings down. The last 2 weeks of the season, they play Boston.
Another backdoor breaking ball. Strikeout number 10 for Shields.
Here, Thames doesn't think so. He thinks that ball was outside. Not real sure about that one. And he's right. From the overhead look, it looked like it was on the chalk line of the right-handed batter's box. But the last 2 weeks, they played Boston 4 times and the Yankees 5 times.
Mark Teahen batting for a first time tonight. Teahen came into the game after Jose Bautista was ejected. Teahen took over defensively, top of the 7th in right. Double barrel action for Tampa Bay. The right-hander is Joel Peralta. The left-hander is Jake McGee. McGee, former starter, now working out of the bullpen, pitching very well. Teahen's got good numbers against James Shields. He's 10 for 29 with 2 homers. Of course, those numbers come as a regular. Mark Teahen's been a regular up until he broke his finger last year with the White Sox.
And now has to learn to come off the bench and get your hacks when you get your chances.
Breaking ball, and Jaso will throw to first base. Teahen is retired. Another strikeout after a leadoff single. Shields strikes out the side in the 8th. Now for a preview of what's coming up on Connected. Here's Ken Reed.
Field, another breaking ball to center field. Multi-home run game for Evan Longoria, given 24 on the season, and that has helped the Rays to a 5-1 lead.
Longoria, he came up just at the right time for Tampa Bay, as he has driven in 2 tonight. 2 solo home runs. Third pitch of the night for the Blue Jays will be the left-hander Will Ledesma, making his 4th appearance since being called up from the minors.
A couple of lefties in the bullpen for John Farrell. One of them Rami Lewis, the other one Will Ledesma. He's got a good arm. He has hit 95 miles an hour on the radar gun. And he needs to throw a little bit more consistently in the strike zone. Some lefties coming up in this inning, so Ledesma is here to set him down.
Matt Joyce will start things off. Joyce 1 for 3 tonight. Grounded out the 2 times. Big swing and a miss. Joyce, Jaso, Brignac. 3 left-handed hitters to face Will Ledesma. One and 2 to the leadoff batter here in the ninth. Tampa Bay with a 5-1 lead. We had mentioned coming into this game the Rays have scored a total of 6 runs in their previous 4 games. Another broken bat. That's a fair ball, and that's going to be extra bases. Joyce around first, headed for second. James digs it out, and Matt Joyce, a broken bat double just inside the bag at third.
Sometimes this game just isn't fair to you. Ledesma makes a good pitch, a 2-strike pitch to a left-handed hitter. Breaks his bat, shatters his bat. What does he get for it? A man at second base and nobody out. Right off the end of the bat, right down the left field line. Nothing the Blue Jays defense can do about that.
25th double of the season, and Matt Joyce will take that one. He has had 2 bats explode in his hands tonight, but that time it turned into a double. So Molina out to talk to Ledesma with a runner at second. John Jaso had an interesting night. He got hit by a pitch that was originally called a foul ball by Bill Welke, the home plate umpire. And then Welke was convinced by Jaso that the ball hit him on the elbow and was awarded first. And then he homered in the 7th. Ledesma has been put in this situation because of the 3 left-handers at the bottom of the order. As you mentioned, Pat, he made a good pitch to Joyce, but you can't guard against a broken bat double.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, that's going to be either right back to the mound or a little soft dribbler to the left side of the infield for an out. So now you got to pitch out of that leadoff double.
Popped up McCoy coming in a few steps. Jaso's retired. With 1 out in the 9th, let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Mike Scioscia has juggled his pitching rotation for this series. It's a big series, obviously, as the Angels are trailing Texas. Los Angeles has won 6 in a row. The Rangers had lost 3 in a row coming into tonight's game, and Scioscia understands the importance of this series.
He's going to take his 3 best starters and move them up a day. So they will be working on 3 days rest to try and overtake Texas. I don't know if that's the right thing to do.
Well, he has moved Herron. He starts tonight, and then Weaver and Santana will pitch on a 3 days rest schedule. Ball gets away from Molina, and Joyce took advantage of it. It didn't go far, but Matt Joyce picked up on the fact that Molina didn't see it. Boy, that's a big 90 feet right there.
Yeah, it certainly is. The infield is going to have to come in now to get the play at the plate. If you are the runner at second base, you can watch the flight of the ball, and you've got to make a quick decision. But if you have a good secondary lead, you watch the flight of the ball. You can move up on a ball that doesn't get very far away from the catcher. That's all about good base running, and you've got to practice that during BP.
Now the infield is playing in. Ball is blocked by Molina. Well, you're right about anticipation, and Joyce did a good job. We could see it from the angle above third base. He bounced and saw the ball in the dirt and broke immediately. But if you're not aggressive with your secondary lead, you don't have that far to go.
Or if you're not anticipating it.
Yep.
You've got to anticipate that ball in the dirt, read it, and if the catcher hesitates just for a fraction of a second, you can move up. You know, the one guy who really appreciates that is the hitter. He gets to hit now with the infield in.
Runner at third. He's now got a runner in position for the sac fly. Two and two. Popped him up. On the infield, Escobar behind second. Good pitch by Ledesma. Gets Brignac. Fans, test your knowledge and win additional Sharp prizes by visiting the new Hit a Home Run with Sharp Facebook page. Great opportunities to test your knowledge and win some beautiful prizes from Sharp. Top of the order, Desmond Jennings. Just 1 for 4 tonight, but that one was a 2-run home run. And he raced an early Blue Jays lead. Blue Jays led 1-0. And then Desmond hit a 2-run home run top of the third. The ball almost got away back to the backstop. 2 outs. Looking ahead to the bottom of the ninth. Lind, Encarnacion, Brett Lordy. That one does go back to the backstop, but it bounces right to Molina. And Joyce is safe. Boy, again, Matt Joyce anticipating, never hesitated, even though that ball bounced right back to the catcher, caught Molina off guard.
Yeah, it certainly did. It looked like originally Jose Molina was going to shovel the ball to Ledesma, and then thought he had a chance at it. Watch Joyce, the runner at third base. Good secondary lead. He doesn't even hesitate. He takes off. Then Molina sees him coming. He thinks about flipping it to Ledesma to get the out. Tries to go himself, and it's a good call. Good call by Bill Welke right on top of it.
Could see him telling Molina he was there, and indeed, Joyce's foot was across the plate. 2 wild pitches have led to the Rays' 6th run of the game. It's a 5-run lead. Jennings takes the walk with 2 outs. Bruce Walton, the pitching coach, out trying to help Ledesma get out of this inning.
Yeah, something happened there when that runner got on base. I don't know if he was staying back over the rubber long enough, but his arm really started firing that ball up and away. Bruce Walton must have seen something in his stretch / wind up to help him get back down in the strike zone.
Two outs. Jennings has great speed at first. Tampa Bay has now matched their total run output in 4 games against the Tigers. They've scored 6 runs here tonight. They had 6 runs in the entire series against Detroit. Johnny Damon, the DH. So first pitch strike. Damon's had a tough night at the plate. A couple of strikeouts. Ball on a strike.
I don't think Jennings is going here in this situation.
Not with the way Ledesma has struggled to throw strikes.
Up 6-1 in the ninth inning. He's got a very short lead.
Damon fouls it out of play. Yeah, I agree with you. I just think that at this point, I'm just trying to get Ledesma through the ninth. Appears as though James Shields is going to come back out and try to complete the game. I mentioned Shields has 9 complete games. Leads the American League by 5. Rory Halladay of the Phillies has 7 complete games in the National League. Kelly Johnson throws to Lind, and the Rays are finally retired here in the ninth. They add an insurance run. Blue Jays are down by 5. James Shields coming out looking for his 10th complete game of the season. Ranked nation New Zealand plays host to Australia. Satanta Sports, home of the international sport. Contact your television service provider for more information. Bottom of the ninth inning, Blue Jays trail by 5. And James Shields is back out for the ninth. Adam Lind just missed a home run his last time up back in the 6th. Had a breaking ball. Might have been down toward the end of the bat.
Shields' pitch count sits at 108. His season high is 117. Trying to get the complete game. Again, he's thrown 9 complete games this season. The Rays offense have scored a total of 24 runs in those 9 games.
Fouled out of play down the left side. There's a leadoff base hit. Then stayed back on the changeup.
Just missed a home run his last time up on an off-speed pitch. This time stays back just a little bit better. Keeps his hands back and has got good plate coverage. Popping that ball into right field, and watch the reaction from Shields. Pretty decent pitch, but a good piece of hitting.
Edwin Encarnacion 0 for 3 so far tonight. Takes a first pitch strike. To give you an idea how rare 9 complete games are, only 4 other active pitchers have had 9 or more complete games in a season. The other 4, Roy Halladay, he's done that 4 times. Livan Hernandez has done it twice. CC Sabathia and Bartolo Colon. Again, James Shields goes under the radar. His 9 complete games to this point of the season are the most on this date by a big league pitcher since 2003, when Mark Mulder of Oakland also had 9.
And when you talk about Tampa Bay Rays pitching, the first name you hear, David Price. This guy is right there with him.
0-2.
And how rare has complete games been for the organization? Tampa Bay, those 9 complete games this year are more complete games than the Rays have had as a team in 11 of the last 13 seasons.
Now cut fastball. Encarnacion strikes out. Boy, he has had that pitch working all night long. A reminder after this game on Sportsnet Connected, on Sportsnet East and Ontario, Sportsnet Connected. The White Sox and the Mariners will be on Sportsnet West, on Sportsnet Pacific as well. And the Rockies and Dodgers, Sportsnet 1, and the Rockies trying to make one of their patented late season surges. Colorado at the start of play tonight, 9 games back, but they've won 5 in a row. Brett Laurie, 1 for 3. He homered in his first at bat, and then Shields struck him out twice.
Shields has 12 strikeouts tonight. It's the 3rd time this year he has had at least 12 strikeouts in a game. He did it against the Florida Marlins back in May. He also got the Los Angeles Angels back in April.
Two 2-0, 1 down. A changeup, 2-0, with a 5-run lead. That's how confident Shields is in his ability to throw strikes with that pitch. Well, Laurie showing a good eye, lays off that pitch. To put Shields' season in perspective for you Blue Jay fans, Shields has 9 complete games and 4 shutouts. He and Roy Halladay, who did it in 2008, are the only pitchers in the American League in the last 17 seasons to have 4 shutouts and 9 complete games in the same season.
That's dealing, and that's using all of your pitches. Manager shows confidence in you, and you go out there. In this day and age of the pitch counts and the miles per hour that everybody looks at, that's refreshing.
Well, I think it's one thing Tampa Bay has to do. It's their strength, and you have to play your trump card, and that's their starting pitcher. Full count, 1 out. Broken back. Zobrist, Brignac. Safe. Laurie has good speed, and Tim Sheeta at first waved him safe. Keeps the inning alive, keeps the game alive.
I think to double up Brett Laurie, it's going to have to be a line drive one hopper to one of the middle infielders, preferably the second baseman. You're not going to get him. Ball just wasn't hit hard enough. It's turned nicely by the middle of the diamond, Zobrist and Brignac, but Laurie hustles all the way down that line. The reaction from James Shields, he wanted that one.
Pitch count up to 121 now. Brett Laurie doesn't give a thing away, no matter what the score is. 2 outs. Kelly Johnson takes the first pitch, breaking ball.
You know, I wouldn't worry about pitch counts with somebody like James Shields because he throws a lot of changeups. It's not maximum effort every single time. The thing that's more tired tonight are his legs. I mean, he really gets his legs into his wind up and his delivery. Takes a lot of pressure off of your arm. That allows you to throw all those starts. 5 straight seasons now that he'll have 30 or more starts.
There goes Laurie, and he will be given second base. No steal for Brett Laurie as the Tampa Bay team didn't cover second. 1-2. Popped up. This should do it. Desmond Jennings waits forward and left, and James Shields has just completed his 10th game of the season as he shuts down the Blue Jays on a single run on 7 hits, and Tampa Bay wins the opener. A couple of home runs by Evan Longoria. 4 home runs for Tampa Bay tonight. John Jaso hit his 4th of the season. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon. Now it's time for Jays Connect with Jamie Campbell, Greg Zahn standing by.